Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. In today's video, we are diving into actually a few applications. We are talking about applications I'm keeping my eye on for the rest of the year. So I did a video like this, I think it was back in December 3rd, I think it was. But like things change a lot in the productivity and the PKM space, and generally in tech, things change quite quickly. So in today's video, we are going to do an updated one where I talk about the applications I'm really excited about right now and I will keep my eye on. And I'm also going to talk a little bit about why. So let's actually jump into the first one. So the first application you see here is actually Craft. Here you actually have the blog post I was talking about. But the idea of Craft has always been a document application. That was until their 3.0 came out, which just meant that Craft now transitioned towards becoming more of a productivity application and not only being like a document app. It still does a lot of the things it used to do quite well, so I can apply styles quite quickly here, but it also now has the ability to do some project management, which is a video I think I published earlier this week, how to manage projects inside of Craft. So you can actually do that right now, as you can see here, with statuses, with uh, with different statuses, and you can add, in my case there is social media, but you can add scheduled dates. You also have task management inside of here as well, and the task management experience is quite similar to the task management experience you see inside of an application like things tree. So I can do a test task here. It adds a test task. I can click on that test task, schedule it, add a deadline. There is a difference between a schedule and a deadline. So scheduled is when I'm supposed to do it. Deadline is when I'm actually going to do it. I can drag things into my docs like this. So I can put it into my document right here. And it also works with my daily pages. If you use daily pages or the calendar a lot, they actually show up on the day. Here you can see my task. I can just just mark it as done from right here. I can also add tasks here. So the task management aspect of things, together with the databases, they call it collections, but it is basically databases. The combination of those two things makes Craft become more of a powerhouse for all-in-one productivity solutions, especially for personal use, just like a lot of people like Notion right now. If you're like in the Apple ecosystem, if you have an iPhone and you have a MacBook, I think there is no better solution than Craft for note taking. I think that is probably the best one. Of course, there might be other things you need, but like generally, I think Craft is the best one on those devices. It at least feels the best on those devices, so I really like Craft for those use cases. But there are, of course, other applications out there as well. But I'm keeping my eye on Craft because I talked about the fact that they released some new updates, which was basically just some minor improvements, quality of life improvements. But I think that is really important for Craft going into the next year, because they are going from a documents application more towards like a productivity, all-in-one productivity tool. But the next application is another exciting one. This is Heptabase, and Heptabase is probably the best visual note-taking tool we have on the market. A lot of people already are familiar with this, but it also has the most interesting roadmap, and I wanted to bring that up right here. So I wanted to go into next up, then we will check the backlog as well. But the reason why I am really interested in this is the mobile app handwriting. the mobile app, PDF highlight and annotation, single card sharing, whiteboard better alignment guide. That isn't that important. You have deep links, focus block of a card, create cards for source, mention embed blocks, readwise integration. Again, not that important to me. Version 3, of course. If it was like getting a readwise integration, that would probably be more important. But you also have like live query and integrations with tags and properties in the whiteboards. So that is some of the things. We can also take a look at the backlog. So end-to-end encryption for chosen cards, inline tags, OCR to search words and pictures. That is really important. Editor drawing block. That is also a really important one. Exporting abilities, PNG, SVG. That might actually be important for a few people. So you can see that they have a really interesting looking roadmap. The application in itself is still amazing as it is. Like as it is the best visual note-taking app if you work with text. I would say that if you work with a lot of images and more like design, less research, I would say that Melanote still beats it, but it is adding a lot of really important features that even designers would like OCR, for example, drawing blocks, being able to draw, the handwriting abilities. If you have an iPad, you can actually, an Apple Pencil, you can actually do handwriting as well. Not right now, but it is on their roadmap. Or I think there is a workaround right now, but they are trying to make it native within the application. So there is a workaround for doing handwriting with an Apple Pencil, but they are putting it native into the application. I think that is one of the goals, at least that's what I think I saw in the roadmap. But handwriting on the mobile application, so a lot of like cool things are coming, and I think Heptabase is just becoming better and better, which is wild to say about an application that is already so good. So I am really a big fan of this roadmap and this application in general. I think it is really, really good, which brings me on to the next one, which is Raycast. Raycast, like before I published this video, I think a day or two before, uh, or before I'm filming this, actually published their AI extensions, which basically allows you to sort of talk to your applications to do things for you. So doing things based on a chat interface. And that is a really interesting take on AI, which is why I am keeping an eye out for it, because the application here also is really good, but they are coming to iOS and they are coming to Windows as well, which will make this like my go-to application. I am currently paying $20 a month to get Raycast Pro, as well as the advanced AI. I use this a lot because of the AI. So being able to have multiple different models I can work with. But here you actually have the ability to have an AI do things within applications. So get calendar events, for example, or make calendar events. I tried that as well. So that is something I really do like, and I really find interesting. And the reason why is because this brings back the debate of what is AI supposed to be. Um, because we have this approach with the next application I'm going to talk about, which is Tana, which is this idea of AI will be inside of your applications and it will talk to your notes, for example, or your calendar, and you will have it within your applications working as a personal assistant. On the other hand, you have like Raycast's take on this is that it will work with your computer. It will be part of your operating system. Raycast isn't like your operating system, but it replaces Spotlight Search. So the idea here is that within your operating system, the AI will be able to talk to your different applications and do things on your behalf in different applications. So that is like the whole discussion of what is AI going to become. And that is like an idea for a whole nother. I'm actually going to do a podcast episode that is for a whole nother video. But I find it really interesting that Raycast is getting so far ahead of many of, I wouldn't say competitors, because I don't think Raycast has that many competitors, but it's getting ahead of a lot of the like tech SaaS product space. So that is something I find really interesting, and the addition of having like a Windows version and also an iOS application coming will just make it a lot more interesting. And it just like uh, you can't talk about productivity and utility applications right now without mentioning Raycast. And when the Windows application comes, it will also be the best choice for people in the Windows ecosystem, and especially for those who have multiple different computers. But the last application I wanted to talk about is another take on AI, and I have a huge issue with this application. I was currently, or I am currently testing it out. I have decided that I am probably not going to use Tana. This is the main reason. I have an issue with my internet on my computer, so this happens to me a lot. This is actually the video I'm filming today, but I really like the idea of Tana, and that is because you can get, the idea here is that everything should be accessible to you, and AI should help you organize things. This is the whole idea of, I want AI to organize for me so I can have more time writing, instead of I want AI to write for me so I have more time to organize. And that is probably what Tana is doing. It is the AI agents, it is the just the ability to do voice, and you can actually talk to your Tana application on your phone. So I can talk to the application here, and it will actually fill out the fields. So whenever I've talked to the application, it will automatically fill out these fields here for me, which is a really not only interesting, but it is a really cool way of using AI. This is like the other half of it, that um, Tana wants AI to be in your application, and probably with integrations to different applications like your Google Calendar. AI will work in that way. And it isn't necessarily like, I'm not saying that Tana and Raycast is going to be the best applications out there. That's not what I'm saying, and that is not what this video is about. The reason why I'm keeping an eye out for those two is because they are the different, like, I would say the left and right of what AI is going to be. So Tana is here, Raycast is here. Raycast wants it to be on the operating system level. Tana wants it to be inside of your applications. And these are some of the applications, at least in the productivity space, that has gotten the furthest when it comes to developing these ideas. So I am keeping an eye out on those two, simply because I am keeping an eye out for what is AI actually going to be, which I think is so interesting. But that actually covers it for today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I will try to get to them as soon as I can, and stay tuned for that whole video around what is AI going to become. I think that will come out next week. Thank you so much for watching today's video.